class 9. Good evening everyone. So students, today we will complete the second part of the second chapter, that is various methods of communication. In the previous class we studied the method of communication, that is verbal method of communication, and the different types of verbal communication was oral and written communication and their advantages and disadvantages. Today we will move further with the next topic of this chapter, that is various method of communication. All right. So students, today we will study about the non-verbal communication, their advantages and disadvantages, then visual communication and their advantages and disadvantages. All right. So what do we mean by non-verbal communication? It means that communicating without the use of words, oral or written. In non-verbal communication, no words is used to communicating. In communicating, that means not even while speaking also and not in writing also. We do not use any kind of words in this kind of communication, that is non-verbal communication, where no words are used to communicate with each other. Then how can we communicate then if we do not use any kind of word? By some gestures, okay, by some actions we can communicate with each other. It can be effectively used to enhance our verbal communication, that includes our body language, gestures, facial expressions, eye contact, pointing fingers, etc. When we communicate with one another by using some actions, that is non-verbal communication, where we use some body language, okay, the way of standing, the way of sitting, that is the way of moving, that is body language. Then gestures, when we give some kind of action through some facial expression or we hit someone, that is some gestures through which we can communicate. Then facial expression, sometimes we make our face when we are happy, we smile and we can communicate with one another. When we are angry, we stare at someone very angrily. That is also a mean of communication. That means you are trying to show your feelings towards that person. Alright. Then eye contact. Though you are not using any word, but if you see a person sitting far from you, you are staring at him continuously. That means you are trying to say him something which the person will also understand if he knows why are you staring at him. Okay, that is eye contacting. Then pointing fingers. Sometimes when you are busy doing work and someone asks you something about a way or something, you directly point your finger. Go that way, go left or go right, without using a single word or without writing anything. Yes or no? That is also a way of communicating. Then non-verbal signs can convey thoughts and feelings in the absence of verbal communication. We can convey our thoughts. Convey our thought means what are you thinking, what are you feeling. We can convey our emotions, our feelings through this non-verbal communication. Sometimes it is said like that words are not always necessary to speak so that one person will understand. Some communications are also done non-verbally, where we do not use any kind of words. We just communicate with each other through some actions. Okay? This type of communication is very needed everywhere. When suppose there is, example I'll give you, many guests are sitting at your home, in your drawing room, and your mom is also sitting there, but there you cannot speak and call her to do some work. Then what do? You give her a sign by some gestures or by some eye contact or by nodding your head. some facial expression or some body language, yes or no, to call her out to you. So that is non-verbal communication. I hope you understood this. Here we say something is often more important than what we say. Something is often more important means, just now I told you, words are not always necessary to communicate with one another. Sometimes the physical gesture or the body language also communicates with people. Okay, if you are not willing to talk to someone, your body language, your gesture will make them understand that you are not interested in talking to someone. All right? So now students, what are the different elements of non-verbal communication? The different elements of non-verbal communication are, first of all, it is facial expression, then gestures, voice, body language, eye gaze. Eye gaze means when you stare at someone or when you look at someone. Physical contact, okay, then dress and appearance. How do you dress? How do you look? And physical contact means while touching someone, okay, by touching someone you can communicate, or by pointing him you can communicate. That is physical contact. Eye gaze means to stare at someone, to look at someone. Alright, so these are the elements of non-verbal communication. I repeat: facial expression, gestures, voice, body language, eye gaze, physical contact, dress and appearance. So now students, how can you communicate? By using your facial expression. Facial expression is very, very important while communicating. Everything is written on your face. People say na that everything is written on your face. It means that looking at your face, one can make out what are you trying to communicate with someone. When you are sad, your facial expression is completely different. When you are happy, your face enlightens. That communicates with people that yes, you are very interested in talking to someone. But if you are uninterested to talk with someone, your facial expression can make, by your facial expression one can make out how uninterested you are with the topic. Okay, it is the most noticeable aspect of non-verbal communication, because whatever we speak, whatever we say, everything is written on your face. When we see somebody, we look them into their face. Yes or no? We look the face first. Whether the person is willing to communicate with you or not, whether he is interested or not. Okay? The look on a person's face is often the first thing we see, even before what he has to say. We notice the face first of a person, then only we begin our communication, whether it be orally or basically it is orally. In written communication, we rarely see the expressions of the face. Okay? The second one is gestures. Now what is gesture? Conscious hand and body movement and signals are an essential way to communicate without words. Gestures are conscious hand and body movement. If you want to call out someone, you just wave by your hand without speaking a word. When you meet someone, you just wave them a hi first when they are at a distance from you. You wave them and you communicate with them. These gestures are actually the conscious hand and body movements or some signals that you give to someone to communicate. And this is a very essential way to communicate with each other when you are not using any kind of word. When you are not speaking anything, it becomes an essential way to communicate. Alright? Some of the common gestures include waving, pointing, using finger to indicate number, Sometimes when we want to say somebody, or we ask them anything, when we ask them, we use our point, we point them. We use our fingers to point something. Yes or no? That is also a gesture. Okay, sometimes we wave people to say them hello or bye. That is also waving. That is also a way of communicating. Alright, using fingers to indicate numbers like 1, 2, 3. We use fingers to indicate some numbers. Yes or no? That is also a gestures to communicate. It is also a gesture to communicate. Okay? And some unconscious gesture also convey one's state of mind. Unconscious gesture, for example, I say, there is a topic going on and you are staring at something else. What does it mean? It means that you are not interested in that topic to communicate with that person who is speaking the topic in front of you. That gesture also indicates that you are not interested. That is an example of unconscious gesture. Some facial expression you make. Alright, that is gesture. And one more example that is written in your book. If you have the book, you can read it out. See, in India, when we meet someone, how do we greet someone? By joining our hands and saying namaste, right? That is a way of communicating with people without speaking a word. It means that we are greeting them. But the same thing you do when you go to a foreign state, will they understand your gesture? What are you trying to say? No, they will not understand your gesture because they are not known. They are not known by the meaning of holding hands and greeting. There, they shake hands and they greet each other, or they wave each other. Okay? So this is a gesture that is used to communicate with one another without using a single word or speaking a single word. Okay? The next element is voice. Non-verbal speech such as tone, pitch, volume, modulation, rhythm and rate are essential elements of communication. The tone, the pitch, the volume, modulation, rhythm of your voice and the rate are the essential elements of communication. When we speak, people read our voice in addition to listening our words. When we speak in a medium tone of a voice when we are sitting beside a person, so that he can listen to us and he can understand what are we trying to say. But if you scream or shout sitting beside a person when you communicate, what will he understand? It means that it will indicate that you are being dominant or you are being aggressive. And if you are very soft, you are murmuring in your mouth, it indicates that you are not interested sitting beside that person and you want that communication to end. Alright? So non-verbal sound provides subtle but powerful clues into our true feelings and what we mean. Non-verbal sound, it provides subtle but powerful clues. There are powerful clues when we communicate with each other into our true feelings and what we can mean or what we can understand. Tone of a voice can indicate sarcasm. Sarcasm means when someone says something directly without making it going round off. That means you say your words directly to someone. That is sarcasm, okay? Then anger, when you are angry, the tone of your voice changes. Then affection, when you love someone, your voice is very sweet. Then confidence, when you are confident, you do not blur or you do not murmur with your words. Okay? Then lack of sound and silence can communicate a lack of interest to understand or even hard feelings in a face-to-face discussion. When there is lack of sound and silence, what does it communicate? It communicates disinterest or understanding or even hard feelings in a face-to-face discussion. Okay, so these are some points in voice that you have to keep in mind while communicate with each other. Okay. And our next point is body language. The next element is body language. Now what do you mean by body language? Body language means the way you walk, the way you stand, the way you sit, the expressions that you give, that is body language. Okay. Communication can also be done through our body language, that includes facial expression, eye movement, hand gestures, postures, etc. Now what is this body language? The facial expression. For example, if you are not interested, you make different kind of facial expression, right? When you are not interested in someone's talk or someone's communication, you make different type of facial expression to show disinterest. But when you are liking that topic or you are happy with the communication, you show the pleasure in your face by smiling. When you are angry, the facial expression shows that you are angry. When you are sad, your face becomes dull. That is the facial expression through which you can communicate. Then eye movement. When you want to call someone, you just blink your eyes sometime to call them, or when you want to make someone shut down, you blink your eye or you move your eye. That is also a way of communication. Then hand gestures, if you want to call out, you just wave them and you call them out without speaking a word. Postures, the way of sitting. If you are sitting straight, suppose you are into a meeting or something, or sitting in a group discussion or somewhere, when your posture, by looking at the posture, one can make out how interested you are with the discussion. It is the way of communication. And if you are not interested, your gesture will show what are you trying to mean. Okay. Then for example, see, standing erect and leaning forward communicates to the listener that you are approachable and friendly. When you are standing erect, that means standing straight, and leaning forward, that means you are leaning forward into the topic to listen. It shows the other person that yes, you are very interested to communicate and you are very friendly and approachable. Now in a declamation contest, if your body language reflects confidence, declamation means it is a kind of debate competition where you speak. If your body language reflects confidence, your speech will have a greater impact on the audience as well as on the judges. When you speak and when you reflect the confidence, the body language, the way, when you go on the stage, most of the time we get nervous and we shiver. But when you go and stand there straight, erect, and you try to speak, from the body language only one can make out whether you are confident or not. But there are some people, when we go on the stage, sometimes we feel very nervous, our hands and legs start shaking up. So it reflects that yes, we are hesitating and we are less confident. That also communicates the audience and the judges. Okay, so this is an example of a body language. Alright. And now students, eye gaze. How can you communicate with eye gaze? That means staring at someone also you can communicate. In the classroom, okay, I will give you an example of a classroom. A boy is continuously talking, but a teacher standing at her place, she or he, without speaking a single word, continuously stares at that guy who is disturbing the whole class. After a few minutes or seconds, the boy understands without speaking a word that what the teacher is trying to communicate with him. When he is gazing him in when he is gazing that student angrily, it is sending him the message that the teacher wants him to shut down and not disturb the classroom. Only his eye gaze is sufficient to communicate to a particular student who is disturbing the whole class without speaking a single word. Yes or no? Sometimes it happens with you also in the classroom. When you disturb the class and the teacher is writing on the blackboard and backside you are talking and giggling, what does the teacher do? He just turns back and he just stares at you, and you come to know that what he is trying to say you without speaking a single word. That is eye gaze, through which you can communicate. See, the movement of eye like looking, staring and blinking is an essential form of non-verbal communication. Eye gaze also determines if someone is being honest or not, and steady eye contact may be interpreted as the person being truthful and trustworthy. By the eye contact, you can also make out whether the person is honest or not, whether he is lying or whether he is being truthful. You can make out by looking into one's eye, because eye never lies. When you do some wrong deed, you take off your eye from the person with whom you are talking or speaking. But if you are truthful and honest, you never blink your eye or you do not take off your eye from that person while communicating. Okay? Now the next one is physical contact. Communicating through physical contact is another essential non-verbal behavior. Physical contact is also a way of communicating, and it is also an essential non-verbal behavior. Sometimes a touch may be able to express the feelings more effectively than the words. Sometimes words are not enough to express the feeling which you want to communicate with the other person. And sometimes we use our physical behavior also to make someone understand what do you feel. For example, see, a warm hug from a mother consoles a child. When a child is crying and he is not being able to console down, that means he is not being able to understand by speaking or saying a word to him. If a mother goes and gives him a warm hug, he will be consoled. Yes or no? He will feel that yes, his mother loves him. And what does it interpret? It interprets that yes, that his mother loves him. So he is being consoled down. He stops crying. Okay? And then where a firm grip of a mother shows to control the prevent child from doing a wrong deed or something wrong. And when a child is doing something wrong, when your mother holds or just hits you, what does it communicate? It means that stop doing that wrong thing. So that is the physical contact of communication. Okay. The next element is dress and appearance. In oral forms of communication, the appearance of both the speaker and the sound and the surrounding play a vital role in creating an impact on the audience or the receiver. In the oral form of communication, when we speak a word, when we are speaking in the communication, the appearance of both the speaker, how do the speaker look, how do they dress, how do they present themselves, it is very important. It plays a vital role in creating an impact on the audience or the receiver. When you wear a shabby dress and you stand in a communication, it means that you are not completely involved in the communication. Suppose you are going on a meeting. In a meeting, what happens? We communicate with each other, discuss our topics. And how do we dress there? We dress in a very gentle manner, right? We wear trousers, shirts, we tuck the shirts inside the trousers, and we wear the jackets or coats, yes or no? But in a meeting, if you wear your night suit and you go there, how will it be? How will the communication look like? It means that you are just not interested in that communication. You are not fully into that communication. You will not give any kind of enhancement to that communication. Okay, so dress and appearance is very important in a communication. For example, a well-dressed person gives an impression of position and power. When you dress properly, it defines your position of the state where you are, where you stay. It defines the position of the states where you lie and the power which you have. Okay, thus generating respect from others. The example which I gave you just now, when you are sitting in a meeting and wearing your trousers, wearing your night suits or loose t-shirts or pant, and you go and sit there, will the other person respect you or will to listen what are you trying to say? No. First of all, he will look your appearance. How do you look like? How do you dress up? First of all, when we meet a person, we look into their face, their facial expression, the way, their tone, the voice through which they speak. Then we look their personality. How do they dress up? How do they sit? How do they stand? What are their proper gestures? All these are very important in communication. And this topic, communication, is very essential when we go outside for any kind of interview, okay, for any kind of professional work. This communication etiquette is very important, okay. Now students, what are the advantages and disadvantages of non-verbal communication? The first we will study about advantage. Non-verbal communication complements a verbal message. It complements a verbal message. That means the message you have sent to someone in the written form or in the oral form, the non-verbal communication, it complements. That means the way of giving the message, your appearance, your look, everything, it complements your verbal communication, okay. Physical gestures greatly help handicapped people, especially deaf people, and this physical gestures, it makes the handicapped people, make them understand. Someone who is deaf or who cannot listen properly, it is essential for them to make them understand what are you trying to say, or someone who is dumb, who cannot speak. Alright. Now what are the disadvantages of this non-verbal communication? It is difficult to analyze a non-verbal message, thus leaving a greater possibility of distortion of the information. Sometimes we do not understand some non-verbal communication. Some gestures or some expressions are not exactly understood by the other people to whom we are trying to send that message or trying to communicate with that person. Sometimes it may not be understandable. So it distort means it breaks the communication between the two people, because the other people is not being able to understand your non-verbal communication, your expressions or your gestures, okay. Now in non-verbal communication, long conversation and necessary explanations are not possible. The long conversations, if you have so much to speak, it is not possible to communicate with them non-verbally. You have to use some words to make them understand them. So this is the disadvantages of non-verbal communication, okay. So now students, visual communication. Now what do you understand by visual? Visual means to see. Yes or no? Any verbal or non-verbal communication utilizing the sense of sight is known as visual communication. When we want to enhance our communication of verbal or non-verbal by some pictures or image, by looking at them or making someone see that is non-verbal communication. It enhances the verbal and non-verbal communication. Okay. Visual communication skills involve the Judicious use of visual aids to make a penetrative and lasting impact on a receiver mind. It means we use some visual tricks, some visual techniques to make someone understand what are we trying to say. Someone if do not understand by the words or speaking or by non-verbally, by some expression or gestures, then we can make them by making them look into the pictures or the videos or any kind of visual techniques through which we can make one understand exactly what are we trying to communicate with them. Okay, for example, see, graph, charts, maps, PowerPoint presentations, overhead projectors, smart boards, white and black boards, model, paper handouts, etc. are the different types of visual aids. Visual aids means the techniques that you use to make someone understand and communicate with you by looking into it. That is visual aid, okay, that help in conveying a message effectively. The message that you want to convey to the receiver or to other people who is sitting beside you while doing a communication, this visual aids help them to understand more in a better way, in a more effective way. Understood? The use of visual aids grab the attention of the students and keep them engaged. Suppose you are in the classroom and you are taking a class and trying to understand a topic to the student, and you are speaking, giving some gestures to make them understand. But if you show them a picture on the smart board or through projectors or through the PowerPoint presentation, then it makes them understand more better. Now you are doing a class with me, right? Everything is written on your phone in a PowerPoint presentation. Whatever I am speaking, you are trying to read it out and it is being easier for you to understand. Yes or no? So students, this is a way of visual communication where we use some visual aids. And visual aids are what? The graph, the charts, maps, PowerPoint presentation, overhead projectors, smart boards, black and white board, models, paper handouts. Paper handout means something which you write on the paper. Whatever you draw on the paper, that is paper handouts. These are the different visual aids that we use so that our communication becomes more effective along with the verbal and non-verbal communication. I hope you understood this. So now students, what are the advantages and disadvantages of visual communication? See, visual aids, first we will start with the advantages. Visual aids like graph, diagrams, models, etc. make oral communication more meaningful. It makes the oral communication more meaningful. If we explain something with the help of a diagram or graph or chart, it makes the oral communication more meaningful. When you see something, you understand better. Yes or no? Then use of visual aids make complex data easy to comprehend. It makes easier to understand. You can approach easily what are you trying to communicate when you see something rather than listening or speaking. Okay? Visual aid make the communication more interesting. It also makes the communication more interesting. Alright. Now what are the disadvantages of this visual communication? Some of the aids used in visual method of communication are costly. Some of the methods of visual aids are very costly, like the smart graph. Okay, the smart graph, the projectors, the overhead projectors. These are some costly equipments which are used in visual aids. Okay, then sometimes visual presentation of information becomes complex. Visual presentation and information becomes complex sometimes. You may not understand. Then sometimes visual techniques take much time to communicate, and sometimes this visual techniques, due to some technical problem, it takes much time to communicate with each other. The thing which you can easily make one understand by speaking, the visual communication sometimes may take time to communicate. Okay, so these are the advantages and disadvantages of visual communication. Students, it is said, there is a proverb, if you just communicate, you can get by. But if you communicate skillfully, you can work miracles. It means that if you just communicate, you can just go. You can just make someone understand and you can just leave the conversation, okay? But if you communicate with someone skillfully, if you have some internal skills to communicate with someone, you can work miracles. That means you can make someone so much interested in your topic that the person gets into what are you trying to speak. Okay, so there is a proverb saying that if you just communicate, you can get by, but if you communicate skillfully, you can work on miracles. Alright, and students, why is this non-verbal, verbal and this visual communication so important? Because when we send a message over telephones or when we communicate without looking into each other, we may not convey the exact message which we want to send them. Okay, but when we use this type of communication, verbal, where we use the oral communication as well as written method, yes or no, then in the non-verbal communication, there are also different elements, like the first one I said you, facial expression, then gestures, voice, body language, eye gaze, physical contact, dress and appearance. These all are very important in a communication, and this leads to someone's communication more effective. You can do an effective communication with the people. Alright, so this is why this methods of communication is important. Okay, so students, I hope you understood this chapter. I will soon give you the question answers of this chapter in the next class. Okay, till then, take care of yourself and see you soon.